Good afternoon and welcome to WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture Carlos James is hoping to see St. Vincent and the Grenadines introduce its very own music festival in the near future. The tourism minister expressed this during the Carnival Development Corporation, the CDC's prize-giving ceremony earlier this week. He noted that as SPG's hotel room stock is increased, it is important that the landscape of the nation's cultural sector is changed. We hear more from Minister James.
But also, I want to add to that aspect of our cultural festivals is to distant future, our very own music festival. We have to push to have that as we expand our tourism product. We're going to have a lot more rooms and a lot more airlines that come in, bringing more people to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the landscape of our cultural sector has to change, not just for visitors, but also for locals, our artisans and our creatives to express themselves and to earn income from this creative economy. So I'm hoping that we can see a music festival here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
That was the Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture, Carlos James. Minister James, during his presentation, also called on young people in the creative industry to take their craft seriously, urging them to invest in their craft and to spend time harnessing their talents. Dasheen farmers here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are being advised not to sell their produce for anything less than $1 per pound. This advice came from the Minister of Agriculture, Suboto Caesar, who cited marketing intelligence, noting that the Trinidad and Tobago market would not be able to offer farmers a price that would cover their cost of production. However, Minister Caesar noted that his ministry has secured an arrangement with two marketers in the United States of America that would be able to pay local farmers the appropriate prices. We hear more from the Agriculture Minister.
From the marketing intelligence that we have, the markets in Trinidad and Tobago currently cannot bear the high prices that we got earlier this year, but that the ministry has worked out an arrangement with two marketers in the United States of America, whereby farmers are asked in St. Vincent and Grenadines who have dasheen not to sell their dasheen for anything below $1 per pound. Because what you're going to have happening and what we are advising is that during the months when you have high production of dasheen in Trinidad and Tobago, we are advising our traffickers not to take dasheen to Trinidad and Tobago in those months because they will not be able to give the farmers a price where they can cover the cost of production.
That was the Minister of Agriculture, Suboto Caesar. Minister Caesar repeated his call for farmers in SPG not to sell their dasheen for any price lower than $1 per pound, noting that markets such as the United Kingdom is doing well, with farmers being able to get their produce sold at $2.10 per pound just this week. Still on the local scene, the financial services sector, particularly those involved in loans departments, are being urged to take those in the creative industry with solid business plans seriously. Minister of Tourism Carlos James made this call during the Carnival Development Corporation, the CDC's prize-giving ceremony on Monday night. He said that there are significant opportunities within the creative industry for persons to earn a living. We hear more from Minister James.
There are significant opportunities there for you to earn. And I want the business community as well, the financial services sector, those who are involved in loans. When creatives come to you and they have a developed business plan, take them seriously. Let us allow them to invest in themselves, in their product, because this part and this component of our civilization is important so that we remain grounded and holistically balanced as a Vincentian people.
That was the Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture, Carlos James. Minister James gave the assurance as Minister with responsibility for culture that he will continue to work to ensure that there are avenues and opportunities for creatives to benefit significantly saying this will be married with the tourism product, a move that he said augurs well for the future culture and arts in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. On to news in the region. The Caribbean Examinations Council, the CXC, says while there has been some improvement in the regional pass rate for CSEC mathematics, the subject remains a cause for concern. Director of Operations at the Caribbean Examinations Council, Dr. Nicole Manning, stated this during the official release of the results of the 2023 CXC exams on Thursday in St. Kitts and Nevis. Dr. Manning, during an analysis of the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSEC results, said in mathematics, 43% of candidates got acceptable grades, up from 37% in 2022. She said although there was some improvement in mathematics, CXC thought it would have been more. The number of grade 1s achieved this year in the subject was 8%, a 2% increase. In English A, the pass rate increased from 73% to 78% this year, the highest over the past 3 years, with the number of grade 1s far more than what was recorded in 2021. Authorities in the Dominican Republic fanned out across the Caribbean country on Thursday to evaluate the damage Tropical Storm Franklin inflicted on crops and homes after causing heavy flooding that killed at least 2 people and left one missing. More than 670 homes were affected by the storm, according to preliminary government figures, and 24 communities were cut off by heavy rains. Crews evacuated more than 3,300 people to higher ground ahead of the storm, and another 352 residents sought safety in government shelters. The storm left hundreds of thousands of people without power and more than 1.6 million without water after knocking 120 aqueducts out of service. By Thursday, schools, businesses, and government agencies were reopened as the tropical storm spun northeast of the country. Finally, on the international scene, Maui County is suing energy firm Hawaiian Electric, saying it failed to turn off electric equipment before wildfires started on the island. If power lines had been switched off during exceptionally high winds and dry conditions, the destruction could have been avoided, the lawsuit said. The Lahaina fire killed 115 and more than 1,000 people are still missing. The company says it is disappointed the county chose to sue while the fire investigation was ongoing. Witnesses say they saw sparks from power lines which ignited fires after utility poles were damaged by winds caused by a passing hurricane. The lawsuit said the utility company knew high winds would topple power poles, knock down power lines, and ignite vegetation. This has been WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 5:30 for WEFM's evening news, and we thank you for listening.